showing that any of your calculations here
I
about
have.
how we can recoup that $8.5 million. You're gonna have losses to the general fund from the landfill account. It's not gonna subsidize the general fund. We're gonna have losses in the general fund, of course, and we're not gonna get the cogeneration plant paid because we can't even predict what Seneca Meadows is gonna charge or any other place after 6 years, how much it's gonna cost to dispose of a ton of garbage. That's
The cogeneration
that's
facility is generating revenues to repay its own debt. That $4.5 million is not going to be repaid by the landfill fund.
The landfill needs to be in operation so that if you just let me finish, so it can operate and have methane in it, so they can power the 2 generators that are there to pay for the cost of debt service. So if the landfill is not taking in garbage, it's not going to produce methane to produce electricity so we can pay that debt. That's my point that I'm trying to make all along. We need to have an active landfill so that we can have decomposing material there to create methane to pay the debt on the cogeneration plant. They all go hand in hand. This is what I said from the beginning. We need to look at all these scenarios because they all, just let me finish and then you can go. They all need to interoperate and pay one another so that the taxpayers are not harmed in the end.
If the landfill finishes taking in garbage in 2021, the methane production peaks 7 years after that, that's 2028. That's what our Director of Municipal Utilities told us last time she was here. That bond for the cogeneration facility was issued in 2014, a 10-year bond. It will be done in 2024. The methane won't even peak until 3 years after that bond is finished.
Laura, we can argue all night long, but the manager showed me a report and he agreed with me that after 2 years of active production of the landfill, the numbers spike off after 2 years. He showed me that engineer's report. We discussed it. If you're not putting the active garbage in a landfill, it makes sense. You're not going to have that decomposing material to create the methane that you're going to need to generate 2 generators that we have at the cogeneration plant. That's what I'm saying in this whole scenario. We got to make sure that we're doing the correct measure and that we're not going to harm the taxpayers in the long run with huge amounts of money. That's why I want to take and slow things down and make sure that we're looking at all the variables in this scenario. That's all.
Council, I'd like to interject. I'd like to throw something out as an option. I'd like to move forward with this evening, but with the stipulation that we give staff a month approximately to negotiate and then readdress it from 6 months down the road from that point in time. If we change it tonight, doesn't mean that down the road we can't change it to plug up the leaks in the dam to see where we're at. But I do want to give staff, I don't want to say instead of 6 month time limit tonight and then have staff scrambling for 2 months trying to come up with contract. That's my suggestion, and it's entirely up to council. But that's what I'd like to see. Give them some time to negotiate contracts and then come back, whatever the date may be, six months from that date, and readdress it. So, Councilor Cuddy.
I have full support of the legislation as it is. I just